Hey everybody! Today's review is something that you guys have been asking for in the comments for a really long time. We're going to be unboxing one of my favorite humans, Jeanette Bozeman. Now, I got my hands on something pretty cool. I got an original 1991 package of Jeanette Bozeman, which was then at the time called Jeanette Arnett, but as you all know, everybody just refers to it as Jet. It's quite different than the version you may be familiar with today, but before we get to the 2024 model, let's talk about the baseline features and quirks found in Betajet. I love this original launch, blue eyes, blonde hair female. I mean, what's not to love? One of Jet's defining features is the ADHD that was built in the package from the start. Now, what's extra interesting about this is that awareness of the ADHD wouldn't come out until the 2019 model. Now, this is the fourth released in the Arnett family series. Her developers created 3 other females before Jet. Not that the previous 3 weren't impressive, I really think Jet might be their best work. Also, we can't dismiss these sister projects because their influence was substantial and continues to this day. Longtime viewers out there will know that part of the reason I started this channel is because humans have such a complex and fascinating advancement system. It's not just about the hardware built in, but also the experiences, environment, relationships, so many other factors. Now, these factors of her environment are like the building blocks of Jet. They really shifted the way she communicates with the world. Early versions of Jet got really used to being the baby of the family. She was cute and sweet, but she wasn't who people were coming to for advice. This, mixed with the fact that she was way younger looking than she was, and pretty forgetful and very slow to make decisions, led to a version of Jet that just kind of followed her family. This meant that she was really good at going with the flow, good at adapting and forgiving, and was very accepting of other humans. But it also meant that her self-value was founded on being cute and fun, and she didn't really have a high opinion of her own problem-solving skills and opinions. And the ADHD that I mentioned before also had a very interesting anxiety effect that aided in Jet's more apprehensive side. She also has a very easily overloaded processor that, if pushed too hard, can make her crash and requires a lot of time to reboot. Some argue that this is the reason behind Jet's more compassionate and non-judgmental features. Others argue that it resulted in a slowing of updates, as there wasn't much push driving higher performance. I myself can remember getting pretty impatient waiting for updates and hoping for higher processing speeds. While Jet was overall happy with herself, she didn't value her importance to the world. But all humans have to grow up somehow, and Jet just had a lot of growing to do in a shorter amount of time. Eventually, she had to be the decider of her own progress and who she was. Her fears and lack of confidence became her purpose to work harder and to discover her own self and her own values. Ultimately, I think this really paid off. While painful at the time, the progress speaks for itself. Then there was the big 2012 marriage update where she was rebranded as Jeanette Bozeman. So a lot of new growth and development at that time, but perhaps the biggest revision of Jet was motherhood. She released her own female in 2012 and then a male in 2020. So these are actually my personal favorite humans. So let me know in the comments if you are interested in a review on them next. Motherhood brought out a lot of really fun and interesting features. Like, personally, I loved when Jet discovered her love for dinosaurs alongside her son. And I mean, she finally learned how flippin' awesome paleontology was. By the way, Jet's favorite dinosaur is a Quetzalcoatlus. Many new strengths were also discovered, like her incredible patience, or that she's really good at helping her kids through their own growth. This new managerial position also led her to discover her ADHD trait. She was able to have the tools to manage her ADHD and treat herself with some grace and compassion. Now, the newest version of Jet, the 2024, has had some really surprising updates. We saw the unexpectedly divorced update, and the move back in with her parents update, and the start school again at MCC. I mean, these were some major changes in this release. Honestly, this newest update is not my favorite, and it's been taking quite a bit of getting used to, but if I know Jet, she's gonna rise to the occasion. I would definitely recommend Jet to all of my viewers. She's funny, creative, has great stories to share. Definitely worth getting to know.